Okay, just picture this for a second. Your community project is really hitting its stride. You're making real progress. You can feel the momentum. And then you get that email. Funding is suspended. Everything just grinds to a halt. For anyone involved in a district development program, that is the absolute nightmare scenario. So in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how to make sure that never, ever happens to you. Let's get right into it.
You know, this quote right here really nails a huge misunderstanding. When we hear the word compliance, our minds just jump to rules, to red tape, to someone looking over our shoulder. But what if we've got it all wrong? This isn't about being controlled. It's about making sure the incredible work you're doing can continue, totally uninterrupted. It's about flow.
And this really breaks it down, right? It is so easy to see a funding delay as a punishment, like someone's putting a lock on your progress. But the system is actually designed to be a safeguard. You know, think of it like a safety check on an airplane before takeoff. It's not there to slow the plane down. It's there to make absolutely sure you get to your destination safely. That's all this is.
So at the end of the day, our goal is super simple: funding continuity. Development programs, they work in stages, and every single stage is built on a foundation of trust. When you deliver on what you said you'd do, the next round of funding gets unlocked. The momentum keeps building, and your community sees real, tangible progress. It's all about keeping that ball rolling.
Okay, so how do we actually build that trust and keep the money flowing? Well, I'm going to show you a 5-step cycle. And listen, this is not about adding more meetings or more paperwork. It's a simple, proactive system designed to protect the progress you have worked so incredibly hard to achieve.
So here it is, the whole cycle on one slide. Understand, monitor, document, address, and review. See how they just flow into each other? This isn't some checklist you do once and forget about. No, it's a continuous loop, a rhythm that builds strength and resilience right into your project's DNA. Let's dive into each one.
Everything starts right here, with crystal clear understanding. That funding agreement, it's not just a document for the treasurer to worry about, it is the rulebook for the entire team. Do you really know your reporting deadlines? Are you 100% clear on the procurement rules? You gotta schedule an annual review with your key members. I promise you, that one meeting can prevent a whole year's worth of headaches.
Step 2 is all about making compliance a habit, not a last-minute panic attack. So are you checking in on your documentation every month, or are you waiting for the deadline to create a fire drill? I mean, look at the slide. Fixing a small crack is easy, right? Trying to rebuild a crumbled wall? Well, that's a nightmare. A simple 5-minute check-in each month can save you from a massive crisis down the road.
And step 3 is all about your records. I want you to think of your documentation as the story of your project's success. Seriously, every receipt, every contract, every report is a chapter in that amazing story. When your files are organized and complete, it builds this incredible confidence, not just for your funding partners, but for your own team too.
Step 4 is about spotting trouble when it's small. And we've all been there, right? A missing receipt, a budget line that just doesn't feel quite right. These are the little red flags. It is so tempting to just ignore them, but they're like cracks in a foundation. The best committees aren't perfect, no way. They're just really, really good at fixing small problems before they become big ones.
And finally, we have step 5, the annual review. This is your chance to zoom out, get that bird's eye view of the whole operation. Once a year, get the team together and review everything. And this is not about ticking boxes. It's about making sure your success is repeatable. It proves that your funding stability isn't just luck, it's by design.
So that's the 5-step cycle. But why go to all this trouble? Because let's be real, the stakes are incredibly high. The difference between having a weak system and a strong one isn't just about paperwork. It's about 2 completely different futures for your community.
I mean, just look at the difference here. On one side, you've got stalled projects, you've got unpaid contractors, you've got a community that's starting to lose hope. But on the other side, you have a predictable flow of funding, real, unstoppable momentum, and a community whose trust in you just gets deeper and deeper. This is what we're all fighting for.
When it all comes down to it, it really is this simple. The paperwork, the systems, they aren't the point. The progress is the point. Your systems are just the shield that protects that progress.
Okay, we've covered the principles, the big ideas, but theory only gets you so far, right? Action is what matters. So how do you actually get started? Well, we're not going to leave you empty-handed. Let's look at a really practical tool you can start using today.
It's called the Compliance Readiness Checklist. And really, just think of it as a simple self-assessment for your committee. It's a super practical way to walk through the 5 steps we just talked about and find any potential weak spots in your system before they become real problems.
And look how straightforward this is. No complicated jargon here. You just rate each area. Green for good, amber for needs attention, or red for urgent. You identify the problem, you decide on an action, you assign it to someone, and you set a deadline. It's that easy. This simple table turns that big, kind of scary idea of governance into a series of small, totally manageable tasks.
So I'll leave you with this one question to take back and discuss with your committee. If your funding were delayed tomorrow, what would be the cause? And be honest with yourselves, because answering that question, really answering it, is the first step to building a system that doesn't just prevent failure, but actually guarantees success.